Hey guys, AlduicS here, and we're back with Season 1, Episode 5 of 86. So if I had to take a guess, if we consider this first frame, we'll be dealing with trauma, or at the very least, the traumatic helicopter crash, the event from so many years ago that killed Lena's father and still haunts her to this day. And if we factor in how Shin reacted last time, when the episode ended, to the mention of Dullahan, or rather, Shorei Nozin, which is his brother apparently, something tells me the memories that flash between aren't the happiest, aren't the sweetest. It might be more traumatic. It might be more stuff that you'd rather forget and never have to come to terms with, stuff that you'd rather repress. But it's all coming to a head. So, is this going to cause some friction between Shin and Lena? What's the significance of Shorei? Is he still alive? What unit was he a part of? I'd love to know more. But it's gotten me feeling anxious, admittedly. But thankfully, we overcame the hypocrisy, the unintentional discrimination, and the mistreatment by never learning the true names, because we learned the names of the cat before we ever learned the names of the unit, and it will take me a little bit to properly put names to faces, so cut me some slack in that regard. But we'll slowly close that gap, and it did foreshadow, one, that Annette might make a move in the best interest of Lena, and could possibly get her separated from Spearhead Unit. Uncle Jerome has been questioning her ideals and making her come to terms with them and challenge them. And then we also had the whole line of, well, in order to be a true comrade, you have to come to the battlefield. You have to stand side by side with us, so to say. So it foreshadows that Lena will eventually come to the battlefield. I don't doubt about that, considering she's been to the battlefield once already before, and she was saved by an 86. I do really like that she took the time to learn all their names, kind of hear them out and stuff like that, and everyone begrudgingly said so. And we also learned more about Shin carrying on the will of everyone else, how many people have died, and it was very solid last time. But before we hop into the episode, check out my links down below: my Twitter, my Twitch, my Kitsune, my Patreon, my Discord, my VOD channel. Support me on all those platforms. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload next, and let's go. Alright, that's brutal. But small Lena. So the Legion actively attacked him. That's right, they mentioned that, but that responded to her. Was someone controlling him? Oh my god, that's horrifying. The sense of scale. Wait a minute. That was the Undertaker logo. So it's Shorei, who's the older brother of Shin, presumably the one that saved Lena from all of these years ago during this event, or at the very least, part of their family. Does Lena look up to Shorei, and will that cause friction with Shin, so to say? The music with this and the ashes effect looks so cool. And it's out. Was it just one enemy that destroyed the helicopter, or was there more? Was it a planned attack? I know they're supposed to be autonomous drones, but so is that what Shorei looks like? Already respect this dude, considering he's comforting a very scared child. One of his oppressors, so to say. He'd be well within his rights to just abandon her, to treat her like shit and everything, or not even give her the time of day, but he actively turned off communications. Also, he could comfort this child who has been through a very traumatic event. He saved her life, and he's willing to just take this time, and it's very commendable. It's very nice. He seems like a decent person, but appearances can be deceiving. Oh. So they're conscripted after a certain age into the military. Alright, so they're not immediately small child soldiers. They actually have to probably wait until they're teenagers, or so to say. I know they have a very low life expectancy, a low survival rate after all, but I'm guessing he's probably been in the service maybe 4 or 5 years, because Shin's lasted about 5 years into the service, and the service is 6 years. So it's probably what they get conscripted at like 11 or 12, and then they work until they're essentially young adults, and then they're free, as free as 86 can be. 5 years ago. It's funny. I'll admit that fate led these two to meet like this, that it came full circle. The older brother saved Lena, who then eventually became the processor of the Spearhead unit, where Shin is the ace of. And now they're going to work in tandem, so to say, to improve their situation, to survive the battlefield and overcome a lot of hurdles because of this whole experience. Oh my god, that's so cool. I love when you have coincidences like this. Black sheep. Is that how some of the previous processors died, so to say? The black sheep, how he's able to predict or at least feel when the Legion are coming well before warnings, how he's so on top of it. Is it like a race characteristic? Is it an acquired skill? Or is it something else entirely? But maybe all of this extra info and why he's asking him, especially with concern this time, because he does care about her to an extent, after all. They've found some common ground, and he doesn't probably, he'd rather not lose her more than likely and get a shitty processor. And it is fun talking with her, but I wonder if it's a case of the black sheep and his sixth sense maybe compounding effects off of each other, that with the synced data of the power raid, it like fries the brain, so to say, of previous processors. I don't know if that's the best idea. The voices of the dead, the haunted aspect. Okay, this is giving me chills, y'all. The way the effects are going. I feel like my heart's been elevated. Is it like a collective will of all the 86 that have died, maybe connected to the para raid? Like, the last wills, the last sentiments get saved, so to say, as data? That was stressful. What the fuck, y'all? What are y'all making me watch? But the question remains, did she actually hear Kaie? Or was it a figment of her imagination? Oh shit, that. It spooked me. Oh god. I might have made a mistake by turning this up for my head, because it's even creepier. It felt too happy, too nonchalant for a portion of this episode. And of course, it hits us with this. Don't blame you for crying. That is overwhelming. Didn't you torture with a juggernaut? They took her. Is this like a psychological warfare aspect that the Legion portray? Are they constantly evolving because they're autonomous drones, and presumably there's no human presence left behind them because the Emperor of Giad, or the Empire, so to say, was destroyed, if everything's to be believed. What the fuck? They took her. All right, more thoughts on that later. Oh. It's not fair how stressful this makes me. Or it feels. Okay, so it's all calm down, then no more I don't want to die. So it must like take samples of voice recordings or something like that. I love that everyone's feeling a bit off because she's not here to call for them. Oh. That grit, that mettle, that innate curiosity to learn what's going on and press forward. I love it. I feel so proud of her. Still don't think it'll be that easy. Are they stealing these ghosts? Yeah. It's their means of attempting to fix their time limit issue. They're evolving, so to say. They're attempting to steal the consciousness, the brain power, the existence of people they're fighting on the battlefield to continue to operate. What the fuck? Is this foreshadowing a potential, like, someone's personality, their sense of self was so strong that they might be able to be communicated with in an 86, or not an 86, one of the Legion machines? If so, that'll be a crazy plot point in of itself. This is overwhelming, y'all. Ghosts that haunt the Legion. Yeah, the more bodies you throw at them, the longer the war goes on, the more there will be. Straight up just came out and said it. Holy fuck. Yeah, they have some of that experience. Is that where Ray went? Did someone take him? What the fuck? Shepherds? Did his brother almost kill him? The fact it's framed like this, the taped back together, the broken mirror, where it almost lines up perfectly with his scar, with his injury, and the way it looks, it's almost as if his head was removed and then put back on. He said he thinks he died, or rather, he did die, and then he was brought back. What are the circumstances? Did Ray kill him? So the memories we saw flashing seems like Ray might not have been a completely stable individual, or at the very least, all of their memories weren't happy. But the red eyes, this reflection, oh, seriously, what was this episode? All I can do is gush and feel overwhelmed. It gave me anxiety. It made me feel so stressed. So we learn, as I sort of expected, the issue of the time frame or the time span of the Legion drones is being solved. They're stealing, they're copying human brains, all to overcome that processing issue. And human brains are immensely complex. They're very hard to replicate. Sure, they're mainly copying the damaged brains, the ones that are at the time of death, and why the ghosts exist, but so there's a couple people that at very least their whole brain was copied before they were killed and everything. They were effectively kidnapped and used as a resource. And if I had to take a guess, I'd say maybe Ray is one of them because they don't have a body. Burials are forbidden after all. They don't have a name tag, or at least I don't think they do. They didn't mention it. But he's searching for him. And the way it's been implied, maybe he's one of the shepherds, the ghost commanders, or he could even still be alive. Maybe he switched sides, or something came along that convinced him to work with the Legion and provide his brain processing power. Because from what we saw, he was pretty smooth with it. He was pretty quick with it. It was very nice, just kind of touching upon the helicopter crash, the traumatic event that still haunts Lena. Seeing Ray, sort of getting a feel for his personality, how commendable he was. But as I said, appearances are deceiving. Never trust a person 100% until you've seen all of their sides. But I still feel like Annette's gonna do something. Uncle Jerome might do something. And with how this whole Revolution Party is being played up, there's definitely going to be a big battle during it that maybe Lena has to leave. She can't enjoy herself. She'll have to actually participate. Maybe we will deal with that Shepherd in Combat District 1. But they're far more dangerous, far more lethal. The plans will be on something a human person or a human individual can actually create, strategize for. Their voice reaches far. They contain, or at least they possess, many more Legion drones of varying types that we don't normally see. So they're an immense threat. They're essentially the mini bosses of the field. Even though we have some serious threats already with constant psychological warfare, the voices of the dead, and stuff like that, these would probably be the mini bosses, and then maybe the ones who are above the shepherds, or the smartest, the strongest of all the shepherds would be considered the final boss of the Legion. But Lena has some lofty goals to win it all before his military service is up and survive, which means we're going to definitely come to a head where we're going to fight a shepherd very soon, probably lose some more people, and it's only going to get more stressful, more anxious, more heartbreaking as it goes on. The writing is so good. And as I said, the action was on point, y'all. It was so smooth. I liked the effects of this. The visual effects are animated really well. They don't feel out of place. They actually match the situation, if not more. And depending on it, like the lighting of them, someone took the time, looked at the scene, and went, okay, yeah, the shadows will work on this, or this is how lighting will work on here, or we're going to have multiple smoke clouds pop up. How are they going to interact with each other? It feels meticulous. It feels very passionate. I believe I was told the author of the 86 light novels either worked with them or was just able to give some input and stuff like that here and there. And it did let them rectify some of their issues or stuff they maybe wanted to fix but never could, or in hindsight would be a better version of how they wanted a certain event to go, or how maybe enemies were placed. Always love it when the creators of the source that's getting adapted can be involved in the work and actually have a say and not get sidelined, not see their child, so to say, ruined. Makes me happy, but it felt too happy. It was way too nonchalant. So only natural that we learn more about the ghosts, the hauntings, what drives a lot of processors crazy, if not kills them. I might be mistaken about that. Do forgive me. But fuck. It even jump scared me. It was straight up creepy. It was disturbing. Even hearing Kaye as well. Her Juggernaut was torched. Oh my god. But I really do respect Lena for calling back, trying not to break that streak and everything, with the strong desire to understand what's going on, to create better plans, to improve herself, to grow closer. And I like how everyone felt off when she wasn't calling and everything. I love that it feels very organic. It's not instantly their best friends. No, they're slowly closing that gap, and it's become such a part of their daily life that they'll feel weird when they can't perform said task. But oh, oh my god, I wouldn't have blamed her if she just needed to take a night off. So it's very impressive that she was able to call back after composing herself. Don't blame her for crying. Don't blame her for getting overwhelmed. I felt overwhelmed. I'll definitely need to rewatch those scenes. All this does is make me want to watch the next episode. Okay. So let me know your thoughts on my commentary, my reaction, the episode in of itself, all down below. Make sure you have a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload next. Check out my links down below. And I'll see you all for another video. Peace.